Uh-oh, some of President Obama's best buddies may be heading for the exits over Obamacare. Reports out that none other than the Queen of Talk, Oprah, is refusing to promote Obamacare because she feels burned by the White House. And it's not just Oprah grabbing the life vest and jumping overboard. Jon Stewart giving the president the treatment usually reserved for us, specifically me sometimes. Here he is venting last night.
Yes, apparently the healthcare.gov website has 99 problems, but a glitch is all of them. The calculator doesn't work? The one thing that's been included in computers since 1972? You couldn't make that work? The whole point of websites is to design them so that it is nearly impossible to not sign up for something. So how are the Democrats going to spin this turd? A surge. Your website is so we have to use the same strategy we used to salvage the Iraq War?
Oh, we've got more. Coming from the very liberal media wing of the liberal White House is MSNBC. The very liberal Yak Mike Barnicle finally telling the truth about what's really going on.
They're lying about it now. They're lying about it. They're not depriving us of information. They are outright lying about what's going on. They've had 2 years to pull this together, to pull this program together. In a country where you can go out to San Jose, California, Cupertino, California, and find 5 people to put together a website that works in about 6 seconds.
All right, Robert, liberals pushing back a little bit now, finally.
Is that a question?
No. Thought. Yeah.
Listen, I think on this issue, I've staked my position. I think we should. But somebody told me, was it you or somebody said if they postpone it for 6, you know this better than anybody else. 6 months or a year, you lose like 15 million people can't get their health care. Is that right?
Well, if you postpone it, I don't think a lot of people are going to have any incentive to sign up.
No, but they lose it. It was a MIT.
No, actually what it was when you were on this morning with Hemmer, he said if you postpone it 6 months or a year, you'll have to sign up 15 more million people to make it work out economically.
Okay, I don't want to answer any more questions.
I didn't understand his question.
But that's a good thought. Good thought.
That's right. It was this morning, wasn't it? I couldn't remember.
Surprised, Greg. You surprised to see Jon Stewart taking the axe to Obamacare?
No, because just because they're criticizing him now, that doesn't matter. There's no reelection. It's like they covered the rug. They threw the rug over the bloodstains so they could have an open house, and which is what they did with the election. They knew this stuff was bad. Now they can act like, oh, we're being objective and we're ragging on them, but it already happened. There's nothing we can do with it. I don't know. By the way, makes me sick.
Dana, it's that bad, though. A lot of times we're on TV, we're talking about something, whether it's, I don't know, Fast and Furious, Benghazi, and then we feel, are we really in the right place with this? Are we really harping on this? And then, sure enough, it comes back and say, wow, we were in the right place. Obamacare glitches, this is a big deal.
Right, and I think that it goes to the heart of what they hoped would happen, which was that President Obama would have Obamacare as his signature legislative achievement, that he would go down in history as the person who was able to bring health care back to, to stop the soaring health care costs. But you could feel the tsunami of negativity happening to them now, and it does now. When President Obama gave that, it's a tsunami.
That's
Bob.
a very good line. The
tsunami of negativity. Do you love that? Okay, great. You can use it tomorrow. I'll give you permission. When the reporters start harping on every little thing, and the White House looks completely disconnected from reality, I thought the AP story this morning, where the AP reporters got to sit in with some of the bureaucrats who were trying to design Obamacare, and they keep trying to say, you know what, I don't think this is going to work. It's not going to work. And one of them almost is in tears saying, we're not going to be able to meet this deadline. And yet they hit it because of political reasons. I think that will actually go down as their legacy. And
one of the other things that we're not talking about, we're kind of trying to bring it up here on the last couple of days, is that when you're insuring more people, there's no doubt you're trying to get 43 or 48 million, whatever is back on.
Yeah, they keep moving the number.
But we're not addressing the cost of health care. Health care costs continue to rise. Since the Obamacare law was signed in February of 10, we're spending $300 billion more per year on health care. So costs continue to rise. This isn't doing anything for costs.
It's making it worse. If you have a bunch of sick people signing up, you're only going to drive premiums through the roof. You need healthy people to come into the system and pay the premiums. This is the same thing. I've said it before, but it happened in Massachusetts. They didn't learn from the mistakes. And yeah, the way to really get costs down for premiums would have been to open up insurance over state lines. So somebody who's young and who's healthy, who can't log on now, could go to a state and allow the insurance companies to compete against each other to provide the best product. For example, in a state like Massachusetts, in vitro fertilization is mandatory. So you have to cover that. What does that do to everyone else's premiums? It drives it through the roof. There's no reason why I or anyone else at this table shouldn't be able to go to another state and let the insurance companies compete, and that would make it cheaper.
You know a lot about this stuff. I would need to understand why it is that insurance premiums, first of all, nobody's in Obamacare yet, right, till the January 15th. Why have the costs of insurance premiums gone up dramatically and Obamacare is not in place?
Well, I can answer that. Last year, Kathleen Sebelius came out and she passed a rule saying that insurance companies could not raise their premiums above 10%, or else they would get the accounting version of a colonoscopy by their state insurance commissioner. So what did they do last year? They raised them all 9% across the board. That rule doesn't apply this year, though, Bob. Shockingly, HHS didn't do that. They're not allowed to put price controls on the bill because it was not a part of the Obamacare legislation. So the insurance companies are jacking them up, anticipating that what is happening now is going to continue happening.
I got to get a colonoscopy next week, by the way.
Speaking of a colonoscopy, good